Okay, here we are again. Welcome to the show, people. I'm gonna have a little bit of a change of schedule, as you may have seen from the comment I have added. We're only going to do the GPLRACER event today, because I have to be somewhere early next morning, the day after, and I think that the night is going to last a little too long to do both races. I'm actually already quite tired. Do a bit of racing, to be honest, but you know, I still want to do a show, have a little fun this evening. So we'll just doing this one at GPLRACER, and we'll be stopping a little bit early around 10 o'clock. But this is the first race of the sports car race of the Sports Car Safety 1 Championship. That's GPLRACER. And it's going to follow pretty much the entire calendar of the actual 71 season, with a couple of minor exceptions here and there. One of them being here at Buenos Aires, because we are taking a shorter track. We're not taking the very long passage down past the lake. And I think the main reason for that is because we do not really have a very good version of the Buenos Aires Circuito 15, as it is called. Letting Uli through here in his 3-liter Ferrari. Because, anyway, as I was saying, the only version we have from Buenos Aires 15 is over 20 years old and is not very good build quality. It is really like a circuit of its time. You know, there's a lot of inaccuracies, things that really do not match up very well with how it was in reality. So he was elected to race pretty much the newest version of Buenos Aires track we got. This is Circuito number 2, as was raced in the 50s. But even though it's about 10 years old now, it still looks quite good for its time. Good quality track where you can race pretty well on. Well, I will say that for the sports car cars, the track is a little small. I was thinking about maybe going for a 3-liter car myself, but I end up still going with the Porsche 970 K1, thinking that the benefits of speed will outlast the agility of the 3-liter cars. I don't think I have much else to add for this particular intro here, so we'll just go on and drive our first laps. Very understeery through the final corner here. DRSs here are very narrow. Tiny avoiding hitting the curbs. Inside of the car a lot. Car wide. And this first turn to be very tricky as the radiuses keep changing throughout. Difficult to get your car in a position where you can get a good exit out of it. Got in the pits and make a few changes to the car, which I'm not quite happy with how it handles. Things further make the first gear quite a bit taller. Close the on throttle differential a little bit. We had a bit of bomb rudder. Okay, a couple changes made. Let's see how it will affect the handling of the car. Hopefully better. Lamary is driving a 3-liter Porsche, the 908. Car does feel a bit better for now. Tristan in front. Going too wide into the corner. Get a little bit of help from him if I only keep up and don't mess up my laps. very wide there. First sector for my feeling. Interesting is having a bit of trouble through this section. Small improvement, but we're still quite far off the time of Patrick. I'm going a little bit wide, but that's quite alright. Honestly, I just feel like going to the pits now because I think driving behind Tristan like this is going to do me more harm than good lap time wise. Essentially, I just can't get by him. I feel like I could do better if you weren't in the way. Perhaps do a couple of tweaks to especially the gears of my car. Right here is holding me up, so yeah. I'd do better if I was in clean air. Still, we are in third now, so that's not too bad. So a couple of changes I want to make. Just one click for fourth. Let's say 3 for the third. And a fair chunk more for second and first. Yeah, that'll do for now. Let's give it another shot. Yeah, I think I can do this bit in just first gear alone. I'll leave this chicane just for second. Time controlling the car. When going for the exit. Very right, first few laps are not going to be quite great because the tires are not up to temp. Taking this one in first, remember? Bumped up to fourth. I think Tristan got himself a better lap. More on the inside. It's a purple sector though. Was planning third sector, but looking at an improvement so far. slightly wide. Now we have a promising lap on our hands. Oh, turning way too early. Still, was good enough for now on the front row. Hard to replicate that third sector there. I think my last lap was exceptionally good in that regard. We equaled our time. Too much throttle. A little too eager there. We got a few minutes left and a few gallons of fuel too. This lap has a lot of promise. Good for Paul. There we are. Three tenths too. Might be able to make the improvement here. Bad line for the final corner there, but no, we did not. We have one lap remaining. Maybe two. Not sure. Oh, I'm not happy about that corner at all. Someone in front now is not going to help either. Red light. No, I think I'm gonna avoid this lap. We're just going to drive it in the pits and we'll just wait for qualifying to conclude. I'm not going to improve anyway, so just wait to see if the others might. There's the flagman. Uli is in the pits, so he's definitely gonna try to improve my lap. Maybe a couple of others though. That was Alain finishing his final lap. He is in 8th. One of our seconds away. Identical lap times with Pavel. I think everyone pretty much have the laps, so this is what the grid's going to be for the race. Let's just fill up the tank for 32 laps. There we go. Okay, pole position, not bad. I'm seeing 7 simultaneous viewers currently watching. How are you guys doing tonight? My mic on, by the way, I'm not really sure. Yeah, it should be on. Alright, Raceman, did my setup transfer? Yes, it did. I was a little worried I may have forgotten it. Right, let's jump in. First race of the Sports Car Championship at GPLRACER. Flagman. Flag down and up and away we go. Got a good getaway, but Patrick is also pretty strong. I'm covering the inside from Tristan. I think I see some guy spinning. Patrick is spinning. Little wide throughout the corner, but we are through safely. I think both Uli and Patrick have made contact with one another. So right now is Piero behind me. They're still in the race. We cannot really say for sure for now. We'll just complete this lap and have a look at the leaderboard once we have gone over the line. I'm seeing already Patrick naming green. I think that must mean that he is out of the race. Uli has crossed the line, he is in 7th. We can put that in review once the race is done. Because it did look like a pretty hectic start. Flag, so there must have been an incident behind me. Looks like Tristan has lost a few places. And Paul, I believe, may have made contact with one another. Pavel also coming rapidly closer in the track position. I think he's still driving. So not the cleanest racing going on behind me. And again, this track is quite narrow for the cars that were driving. Normally this would be, you know, for the 1955 cars. Paul's still driving. Pavel, I think Pavel's parked his car in the pits. Get to me, and Piero in second is already 9 seconds, so yeah, this looks like it will be a pretty easy drive for race victory. gap relative to last lap was over 4/10 faster than Piero, so we'll have to keep an eye on it though, because Tristan has gone up to third. I'm not entirely sure what his race pace is going to be. He has continued to drop down to 9th, so I'm not sure if he might have some damage of some sort, but could be that he's dealing with some car troubles right now. The gap is now to 10 seconds. Kind of imagining right now what the air temperature would be if these will apply in Grand Prix Legends. As right now it is in the midst of summer in Argentina, and yeah, the races in the 1960s and 1950s, nah, not really 1960s, 1950s, they've often been very notorious for being very hot. Especially in the 55 race, I believe that was one of the hottest races on record. And only 2 drivers who completed the entire running by themselves. Yeah, it's still a quiet race. The gap between number 1 and 2 have stabilized a bit. I think that Tristan is running a little faster though, but he's still 13 seconds ahead and he still needs to find a way past Piero some way. little bit wide. Okay, Tristan has gone by Piero, so I think that it's time for us to pick up the pace a little bit as well. Oh no, he's fallen back again. Never mind about that. Actually, he's dropping very hard, so he may have had a crash somewhere. In fact, I'm pretty sure right now he is out of the race. He stopped right here in the middle of the corner. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe he combined and went to the fence on the outside, or maybe he just blew up his engine, disconnect. There's really no tear. I couldn't really see any skip marks in any case. I guess that's another one for the replay log. Another guy is out of the race. Of calamities today. A line crashed at the end of T1, T2. See the first back marker of the race. 12 laps in. Not quite the name you would expect to be on the back on the grid. It's Paul Skingley. Usually see him somewhere around the top. Yet Piero keeps increasing, so not a worry about him. Closing in on Paul now, we can maybe have a little of a diagnosis of how his car is driving. Suspension-wise, it at least doesn't look too bad. Take a time here. It's going let us by anyway. It's difficult to say if he has engine trouble with this machine, because he is driving a vehicle with about, I believe it was 460 brake horsepower, while mine is around 630, so that's a pretty big difference. Maybe he's just a little bit off pace today. I'm not sure what's going on. Well, looks like Uli is in the clear. I had a bit of a battle with Frank for 5th. He has gotten by. 60 seconds between him and David, so he'll be on his own for the time being. Well, we are not so far away from lipping the next guy. Driving in 7th place. Keeping himself afloat while already 4 of us have fallen this race. But come to think of it, one of the reasons Paul might be not very competitive today is because he has in the past already said that he is not a big fan of the cars with closed wheels. So, you know, the other sports car mod from 1967 and the Can-Am mods, he's not a fan of driving those. Maybe has something to do with his lack of pace, but it's just another theory that I can put in the map of theories. The gap to Pierre now is increased to 20 seconds, over the halfway mark. flag up ahead. I think Nick had a little spin there. He's moving again. Oh, fatigue is setting in. A little too much on the inside. I think that Stefan has gone up a place relative to Piero. But Piero might actually be out of the race. Yeah, he is. Let's see if we can identify where it happened. Down in T1, T2 it seems. In exactly the same place as Allaire. And again, no tire marks. You know what? I think I know the reason why so many may have retired. I think it's because... And I'm going back to the year, I don't know, it was something between 2016 and 2018. We were driving this track as well during a season of OAO. And I remember there being a mass freeze going on during that race. That would mean that multiple drivers had a freeze and connection issue at the same time. So it is a little different, but maybe right now it's just numerous identical cases, as I will see that Frank has parked his car in a pit box. Different occasions of freezes or discos that has led that has plagued this track a little bit. So you know, it might be a connection issue thing with this track. Maybe some people haven't activated the track gap fix for this mod yet. I am not really sure, but I find it remarkable that we have so many drivers pulling out of the race. I think as of now, more than half the drivers are out of the race. So right now the only drivers remaining is the GPLRACER admin club. Plus Nick Ksuk, of course. Him too. And to respond to Rich Mace, yes. I also believe that the sports car mod is a very nice car to drive. It's not quite as fast as the Canon 71 cars, but I'm having a good time with it. And you know, the Porsche Ferrari duel is quite an interesting dynamic. Ferraris being stronger in aero, while the Porsches are better on the straights in general. And of course the 3-liter cars, which are a lot of fun to drive. Today I'm seeing at 360p, should not be. That will be very poor quality. As I mentioned in the beginning, this is Buenos Aires, track number 2. This is a rendition of the of how the track looked like in 1955. So. The age of the track doesn't really match with the age of the car, so yeah, it is what it is. I have now just a little over 8 laps to go right now. Unfortunately, not the most entertaining race today, but you know, there's always another Tuesday, and we can hope that things will be better. Check the gaps for a second. There's only 7 seconds between Uli and David, so they might just duel it out at the end of the race if Uli gets closer. Oh yeah, for sure. Gotta keep GPL alive, of course. I mean, numbers always seem to thin a little bit more each year, but gotta keep playing it. And still worth playing it if there is still being developed. There might be a coming out new mod this year. I'm not gonna speak of which mod there might be, but you'll be seeing it for yourself. Alright, 5 laps remaining now. Hearing some engine noises from the other side of the track. Don't think we have to worry about any more traffic this race. Driver is disconnected now. I think Uli has gone by David, who may have had a mistake a little earlier. Yeah, David is running into trouble. I think he's going to the box. Okay, 2 more laps. David might actually still be going, but he's now in last place. I think he may have repaired his car or something. Can't really say for sure what patches he is running, but he's still driving, fortunately. Saw a car in the distance of Uli. Currently running in third. And I'd say that's a lot thanks to the many casualties this race has today. Unusually high for today's standards. Right, just one more corner to navigate, and a kink on the straight. And so concludes a well, not so eventful race from our side, but plenty going on behind us. Yeah, unfortunately not as great as I hoped it would go, but yeah, a win is still a win. I had only hoped that it would have been done with a little more of a battle going on, but let's just check the start of the race, see what exactly happened. Let's move into Patrick. Okay, race went on. He had a better launch than Uli. Tristan had an even better launch. Oh, I think there may have been some warp contact over there. And then Tristan was just way too eager in the first turn. Still going. Oh! Big calamity there at turn 3. He landed upside down. Who hit who? Okay, no more hit someone. Pavel just went into a spin on his own and yeah, David just couldn't avoid. Okay, so that's what happened. But yeah, lose from that. It's Tristan and Patrick finding each other once again. Not really much of a surprise, unfortunately. These two have a big history together. Yeah, Yeah, well, like I said at the beginning of the video, this is unfortunately the only race I'm going to drive tonight. I am currently in the middle of driving lessons for my CE license, so that's for a truck with a trailer. And I'm starting tomorrow at 7 o'clock, and I want to make sure that I have plenty of sleep and be fit to go out and drive, you know. So with that, I think driving until 12:30 will be just a little too late for me to continue on. So unfortunately, I have to cut the stream short from here. But I want to thank you all for driving, well, not driving, for watching once again. And well, I see you at least on the Saturday, which will be the final race of the OAO Winter Series Cup at Donnybrook. And yeah, next Tuesday there will also be racing, but it will be only at UKGPL, because earlier in the evening I will be attending my local theater for a gathering. Let's say that. I'm not really sure which English words I need to use, but in any case, I won't make it to GPLRACER race, but I will be later at UKGPL, so we'll be starting at around 10 o'clock at the time. So I will see you hopefully then, and yeah, have a good night. Goodbye.